making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree. And I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.
Hello, I'm not sure why my transition didn't work. Hold on. Now we're here. Okay, congratulations. How's everyone? Also, congratulations to Barry for getting engaged. That's awesome. And happy birthday to Julia. How's the audio? Is it trashy? Is it good? Is it... Oh my God. I'm missing an ear plug. Oh my God, is there a dog in here? I have to let my dog out. I'm sorry, I'm in a mood. I'm sorry. Oh, I'll be right back. Oh, I'm so mad. Okay. Sorry, I had a rough day and it was all my fault. It wasn't my dog's fault. I thought all the dogs were out and they weren't, so. Hi, Jessica. I wish Jessica lived, like, close. Oh, my. Because I'm, like, it was like a shitty day. How's everyone doing? Let me play Happy Birthday for... Holy crap. I would not take them again. Just if your family gives them to you, tell them that it can screw up your microbiome, not only in your mouth, but in your gut. Can you drink milk? Milk would get it out of your mouth. I'm getting high. Hannah, let's go. Lily Pop, I'm glad that you escaped your dream. I'm so happy for you. What you can do is you can go on Pinterest and you can look up color schemes and grab them and then see all the colors together. It's helpful. And there's some great color schemes on the Pinterests. Squidney, Nydia, hello. I should have just FaceTimed you instead of like crying by myself. Ugh. Ruh-roh. Where's our sounds?
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh.
It was in my drink and I've tried everything. You've tried milk? I would try, if you can't drink milk, then I would try Listerine twice a day. Doing it for the full 30 seconds and spitting. I'm sorry you went through that. Thank you. This is just for the me one. We're going to be looking at Slay Squad, Kim Fitzpatrick, who's a tippity top beach body coach. And apparently this was an incredible training. It's 35 minutes long, so I thought we'd react to it. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed talking to the live chat. I was kind of... This is what FaceTime is made for. I hope that this stream helps get you out of your funk. Or at least gives you a reprieve for a few moments. You tried milk? How many drops? How many drops did they give you, 𝐊𝐶𝐄? Cashew milk? You just want something that will bind to the oils, and water isn't it. You know what I mean? That's not okay that happened to you, and I'm sorry that happened. Oh my gosh, my husband is Scottish, so I didn't get a color scheme as much as Don't Clash with the Tartan, and I love saying his wedding dress costs more than mine. That's awesome, Julie. Thank you. Thank you so much. They're just on top of my head. Thank you so much. Oh, no regrets for Bliss bars. Oh, that's awful, 𝐊𝐶𝐄. I'm sorry. Kate, I hope you have a great night's sleep. Thank you so much for popping in. I mean, giving someone substances they didn't consent to consuming, no matter what it is not okay. 100%, Hannah. Oh, olive oil. Like swishing olive oil in your mouth. Coconut pulling. You know the oil pulling, if you put the hardened coconut in your mouth and warm it up and like swish it around and spit, that might get it out. Like the coconut, whatever, the coconut that's like solidified.
Hello, Patricia. How are you?
I graded 60 20-page papers yesterday and my eyes are dying. Carmen. That sounds awful. Now, Carmen, let me ask you a question. When you grade papers, do you regret, like, do you feel like, my students are getting it? Or do you feel like, what the hell's going on? Because I hope you feel like the encouragement that your students actually give a flippity flop. Ruh-roh, hell yes. Oh, good, 𝐊𝐶𝐄. I hope the taste dissipates after a while. Emerald green and electric blue? Heck yes. I would add maybe like a plum to that to even out, like to add to the colors. But yeah, put in emerald green, electric blue wedding colors and see what combos come up. I'm reading the chat. I should have had the chat on the screen. I've been So I've been crafting and then, my meltdown and trying to figure out, like, we're still doing Snarkmas, but today's just like a regular Christmas stream. So we're going to be sleigh squatting it up. And I hope this is interesting. I hope that it helps, like, kind of pull the curtain back on what goes on in these groups, in these Facebook groups, these BODi Facebook groups. And maybe it'll help one person. Uh-oh. MLM, no. Oh my gosh. That's awesome, Carmen. BRB, I'm going to drink half a gallon of eggnog real quick. Let's go. Lisa. Maybe mercury's in the microwave. I don't know. I'm just joking about that. Okay, so here we go. Let me go to the correct scene. Oh, there we are. Wrong thing. All right.
This call, and we are approaching the end of the year, so I couldn't be more honored to be one of the speakers in December that helps us lead us out, and really hopefully gets us right into our hearts today.
Oh.
So I want to do one quick drop in. I would love, I know some of you have kids on your laps, but do the best you can. I just want to drop us in. So I want you to put one hand on your chest.
No.
And I want you to put one hand on your belly. And I just want you to just like,
what?
We got to get centered. I got to get centered. So we're going to do this together. So we're going to just take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Breathing's great.
You're just going to feel that breath right now.
Okay.
And I just want you to let go of the day. Let go of what you need to do tonight, because you can't do it in the next 35 minutes. So just be here. Take a big breath in.
Be here because you didn't get a choice, because you have to be on these awful Zoom calls.
And feel that heart and give yourself permission to soak this in tonight.
Oh, this
And
girl's
give
not
yourself
doing
permission
anything.
to
Look at
dive
this-
deep
look
into
at
what
that
maybe
girl.
you need to let go of
She's
tonight
not doing
too.
it. Oh, I love
All
it.
right, we're going to come back.
Let's not
So,
participate.
I was super nervous for this call tonight because I'm going to get vulnerable tonight, and I'm going to share a lot of my truths that a lot of people haven't even heard.
Oh, God.
And I want to firstly ask for permission. Do I have permission to speak boldly and candidly with you tonight?
You're telling me out of all the people on this Zoom call, everyone said yes. And is this going to be, I'm going to speak boldly and candidly because I'm going to yell at everyone and I want you to give me permission before I do so? Because if that's the case, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, did they give you 𝐔𝐒𝐄 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐔𝐋? Yeah, I know. It looks like they're all of the, there's so many good people in multi-level marketing who are working their asses off, taking care of their family, working, like obviously taking care of your family is a job. Some of them are doing that and they're going outside of the home to work and they're giving up their time to be on the Zoom call. Why? Why?
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thumbs up.
I am a advocate of speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. And I hope that I can inspire some of you tonight to do that, because that is what will set you free. And I have learned this the last 2 years specifically, that,
Hi, orange
until
guy,
you
what's
deal
up?
with your patterns, you will keep arriving in that same cycle and that same pattern. Because the truth is, wherever you go, there you are. And who
Cute.
is the you that keeps showing up to that scenario?
Who's the you that keeps showing up to that scenario? We're going to take a detour. Yes, cute. Absolutely cute. But that's just me. I love a floof. I love a floof moment. Can you imagine you in your wedding dress and your spouse and their, wedding attire, and then your floof in like a boat? Oh, go to Froggy something. They've got like velvet bows and stuff you can get that are super classy and like super well made. Knowledge, hero. Just orange juice? Interesting. Sorry, I'm off topic.
No. And if you don't work on you, you are going to keep repeating the same patterns. And I want to talk to you tonight about some of my patterns. And I want to talk to you tonight about some of my limiting beliefs. And I want to talk to you tonight about some of my truths that have been keeping me really, really small. You get a new job and you have the same pattern, you are going to arrive in the same situation. New relationship, same pattern, you're going to stay in the same place. New evolution, same patterns, you're going to stay in the same pace, right? How many of you are like, I'm going to be the strongest walking into 2024, but you have the same patterns. So you might be probably exactly where you are right now as you were last year, and you might not be happy with it. And I want to remind you that those are your same patterns. New goals in your business, don't achieve those, same patterns. Here's the thing, until you deal and you heal with the patterns that are keeping and blocking you from your essence and your truth, it will keep following you everywhere.
Except in multi-level marketing, when you're dealing with a broken compensation model, no matter how much you quote unquote heal your broken patterns, you're not assured to actually make money, because most people lose or don't make any money at all in multi-level marketing. And just because Kim Fitzpatrick has been in for 1 billion years and is at the top of her pyramid doesn't mean that that is possible for other people. Yes, someone could bring in their influence, like if they have a following on a social platform, or if they're an in-person like recruiting machine. Sure, you could build to some type of height, except take into account our buddy Carl Deichler, the overlord at BODi, has made a new compensation model change that starts this month, right before Christmas. Good on you. That's sarcastic. And then the second part takes place in January. So he literally is screwing over his coaches because he's burned his company to the ground. And who suffers? The coaches do, even though they were the ones doing all the hard work. Albeit for a multi-level marketing company and a fitness program that really does more harm than good. It's twisty. It's a broken compensation model. I'd rather have dogs than kids at my wedding. You can have a little pup cake for your puppy too. That could be like dog friendly. So when y'all have your cake and your pup could have their cake. Alexis, sorry. I was like, Alex up there. Alexis is right there. Hello, good morning. Little Tux. Oh my God, that's so cute. I just like weddings as a rule, but would love one with dogs in it. You know what? A floof cam, streaming your wedding and then just having the floof cam like take up a huge section at the bottom. Love it. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Tess. Hi, Charlene. I used to do wedding banquets and would have died of happiness if someone brought a dog. Just make sure you have someone specifically assigned to take care of them. Yes, this is a great point. Thank you, Alexis. Does essence mean soul? Yeah, like who you are as a person on the inside, not like your outer appearance, I guess. The kitten lady had her wedding on a ranch with adopted farm animals. I love that. Aya! Hello!
What pattern is following you? I love this quote about a leader committed to her growth, blazes a trail, and then she turns around to hold up a light for the women coming behind her. I hope tonight that this marks this for you.
Okay.
I hope you get to blaze your trail tonight, bravely and boldly. I have 2 questions I'd love for you to write down. If someone wants to write them in the comments for me, that would be awesome, because I'd love for you to pull these out for reflection over the next 3 weeks to marinate on. Number 1, what does it mean for you to live your life unapologetically? What does it mean for for you to live your life unapologetically. It's a question that you might not know the answer to right now, and that's okay. It's one that is going to be an opportunity for you to dive into a little bit later by yourself with some great music. And number 2, what is the first step that you need to take to become who you're meant to be? What is the first step you need to take?
Yeah, I guess all of the top coaches who are guys, even though they're not as many as the girls or whatever, it's kind of, Beachbody's a little bit traditional-esque, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that she acknowledges the dudes on her team. And there is a large group of women in the Slay Squad group. So, yeah, and this is like, they're over here, this is just the first page. I don't know why they refuse to record in speaker mode in Slay Squad. Sometimes they do, but they're not doing it here.
To become who you're meant to be. All right. Everyone can see these?
A PowerPoint?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
For the love of God, put it in. Oh my God, there's a PowerPoint. We're going to have to change scenes. We're making a new scene. We're calling an audible. Oh my God, there's a PowerPoint. I had no idea. I'm so excited. Okay. Sorry. I'm back. I'm transparent. I'm flipped. Oh my God. No, and I cannot stretch it all the way out because they record it in this awful whatever. It's not 1080 by 1920 by 1080. Yes. Is it Christmas? Yes, it is. Christmas starts today. We need a little bit of magic, so we're gonna put some snow. If I can find some snow. Snow, snow, snow. Loop. Lighten. There's our snow. That's pretty good. Let's go. Okay. Sorry. We're back on track. A little bit. We just got an awful border now. Ugh. Lock. Can I unlock that one? There we go. Hit the present button. We can only hope. We can only hope. In training for this life with Kim Fitzpatrick. A picture of Kim on the front for your viewing pleasure.
I love this slide.
Oh, press present. Give her 2 points. 2 points for the BODi house. Is it okay if I cover it up? I'm just gonna be over here. Maybe I'll be a floating head of rage. We'll see.
This topic, it's not mine. We've heard it before. You're in training for this life. You're in training for this life. And this has saved me in a million different spaces this year, in the last 4 years specifically, when I've wanted to pack it all
We
in.
are not on track.
And pack it all in, meaning the pain and the frustration and the hard and the messy and the relationships and all these things, not Jamie's, just other things. Right? And it would have been easier, it felt like, to stay underneath the protection of that weighted blanket. And
just to be nosy as hell, her husband, Jamie, from what I understand, had a heart attack that he survived because of medical professionals. The emergent EMTs saved his life. Doctors saved his life. And then, if I'm thinking of the same guy, and then he goes on his stories earlier this year saying that it's all basically a scam, that medical professionals don't really have have your best interest in mind, and that whatever. He went on and on about it. And I'm like, you are alive because of traditional medical care. Only 3 fonts? I mean, this may not be a roasty roast. I've been working on a history lesson presentation for Clowntown's. Oh my God, y'all. Jessica's making a PowerPoint and I caught a peek on her stories. I love it. No, I love it so far. Unless you want to send it to me before, like, once you finish it. I am that type of friend, though. I won't tell you it's good if it's not. All right, we're ready.
I remember what it felt like. I remember what it felt like when I would have to sleep underneath 30-pound weighted blankets in order to calm myself. And I want to tell you that I felt that weight, but that weight of the blankets was actually my story.
I know we can't, it's like the pausing is bad because we can't roast it. You see that she hasn't gone all the way to the top with her picture. Okay, fine. So we've got this white border at the top. Maybe you're doing something modular. And then the pink one is down too. Then why did you not go all the way to the bottom with the pink? You went all the way to the bottom with your picture. I think this should have gone to the top. I would have taken 10 points off for this. Just for sloppy design. Can we have a bingo card for Hun PowerPoints? Yeah, sure. Which one have we hit so far? Brandy Lee! Ma'am, no, that was the blanket. Yes. Brandy Lee, you missed the intro. We don't have kazoos this time because we keep getting slapped by YouTube. Weighted blankets are awesome. For sure, for sure, for sure. Oh my gosh, Rebecca. Yeah, mental health claims. It's BODi, so what were we expecting?
And it was my narrative. So much pain. It was just so much pain. And some of you know this story and some of you don't. And I'd love to take a minute to share it, to give you a...
Can I just give y'all a heads up? This is hella hard to read for some people, not for everyone. I wouldn't use it. It's not bad. It's not the worst. I don't understand. I understand she's doing like a flow. My legacy story starts before my first breath. So she's going this. She's ending over here. Fine. We've also not done anything meaningful with like the placement. So we're not halvesies. We're not 1/3. We're like in awful territory right now. Let me fix this. Can I fix this? No, I can't. Okay. My arm's just going to be cut off. She's at least being consistent. She's also looking at a picture of herself. Maybe this is for her. Oh, because it's her story. I still like, so here in this PowerPoint, the pink is centered horizontally and vertically. And then she has this picture. I think she should have taken the picture length all the way down, made it thinner, moved it over so that either the picture should have taken up more or the text should have. So we would have either gone to the 1/3 category and the text would have taken 2/3. It's not bad so far. It's not great. -2 points for this font.
A little bit of context. You know, my story started before I took my first breath. My mom, this is my mom. And she was pregnant with me and she had 2 other babies, my sisters. And my mom got news that her Hodgkin's lymphoma returned when she was pregnant with me.
Oh, no.
And she and my dad made a brave choice to keep me and did not terminate the pregnancy.
Oh.
And, you know, she went on to not survive.
Oh.
She passed 11 months after I was born.
I'm
and
sorry.
She didn't come out of the hospital except for day visits, you know.
I'm sorry. I didn't know she was going to tell this story. I didn't mean to slime y'all by like not saying emotional things, slime people. I know some people weren't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to hear that. I'm very sorry about her mom. Oh, sad. Why is there no like heads up about at the beginning? Like if I was doing a talk, which I've obviously live reacting to this, I would have said, today I'm going to be telling you some key points in my life that helped me become who I am. That includes my mom making a sacrifice that was the reason I'm here, that she did not survive from, ABC, so that people could be forewarned and know what she's going to be talking about. Frickin' heck, emotional control, seriously. I don't understand. Why do you want to surprise people? Because it's a form of control, in my opinion. Dang, I'm sad now. I'm so sorry for her. And then, like, I'm obviously having this response, and I don't like her. And there's people on this team who, like, revere the ground she walks on. So they're going to feel some type of way about her sharing the story. Is that going to keep them in longer? Is that going to make it seem like they can do what she's done because she's gone through hard things and they're failing at MLM, and so they're going to stay in and try because it's a motivational freaking story? It's more emotional impact if you get hit by surprise. I mean, they all know there's going to be a dump. You know, yeah. Thank you, Brandy Lee. It's just so forward and emotionally invasive, so inappropriate. Yeah, but Jessica, like, you don't use it to manipulate people. Like, you don't use it as leverage. You don't use it as currency to either make inroads with your friends or whatever, try to take advantage of people by, I don't know, surprising them with an emotional and deep story. I should have done a disclaimer. I should have watched this beforehand, but I didn't. I just wanted to stream and be with the live chat. Oh, it's sad but strategic on our part. I mean, I'm not going to cry.
And her heart just wasn't strong enough. She just wasn't strong enough. And the underpinning and the pulling of the messages I always get from her is that I could do more from up above than I could have done here on earth. And that gives me hope. But I'll tell you, I've been missing someone for 43 years. And she needs to rest. And it's time to live, and it's time to rewrite narratives, and it's time to rewrite stories. And I want to make a pact tonight because I know that I am not the only one that is a part of the club that nobody wants to be a part of. And we often fight for the what ifs. They were still alive. What would my life look like? What would this have been? And that narrative is slippery. That narrative is very, very slippery. And I want to make a pact that we start living now and we keep living now for those that can't.
No, you should live for yourself, and maybe you should live for the people you care about. And there should also, that's just my opinion. You should be able to say, I am worth getting better for if you can. I'm worth making inroads I need to get healthy, not just for somebody else, but for myself. And it shouldn't be, in my opinion, in this situation, she's using it for people to stay in freaking Beachbody longer. Oh, and this is where the pitch starts. Yes, Patricia. Dang. Well, December 2023, still crying on the internet.
Look at me, loudly pulling my slides off. I had an event that I got to speak at 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, I spoke at the Wallet to Wealth event, and I was having the most stressful time because my speech presentation was on adversity, and it was on
Another example. I know she's gonna we're listening to what she's saying, and we're also taking apart the PowerPoint. I'm guessing this is what she feels like she was telling herself. Some people have self-talk. Some people don't have any self-talk. Don't have that, like, not an inner voice. Is that the right term? But they have certain beliefs that they believe about themselves. I'm not going to read all these because some of it's like, I don't know why she had to clarify you're not smart enough. And I don't know, like, who says someone has too or is too much or talking too much or too much energy or whatever. Like, maybe I'm just don't hang around the right people. Howdy, Shelby. Blue, green, and pale peach. Yeah, I mean, you can look at the color wheel as well. And you can find, I think that would go. Inner monologue. Thank you, Jessica. Yo, Jessica's so smart.
It was on adversity and what you overcome to triumph. So I had to like tell this sad story,
And me,
right?
hello.
And it was like, and all these people were talking about the trauma and all these things. And I went last. I was the finisher. And I was sitting there and I was pacing and I had anxiety. And I was like, I don't want to share this story anymore.
Totally, Patricia.
And I don't want to speak about my trauma anymore. I don't want to speak about the lack of love. And I looked at my side presentation and this was it. And I can feel it right now. I want to cry. Like, I literally froze in front of 200 women. I froze on stage and I couldn't speak. And I swear this is a little woohoo, but it was like my higher self
Here, let me look at
pulled
something.
me out of my body. And I was staring at myself on stage. My throat chakra seized. Like it was seizing because it was like, you're not going to tell the story anymore. My higher self, who's like floating over here in a flower tiara and this white floaty dress, is like, hey, this isn't your conscious story anymore. And it's time for you to step out of this. It's time for you to not be stuck in that identity story that you're too much and you have too much energy and somebody else's identity that was laced on me from.
I know. And I guess like that is me and my limited experience of, well, I mean, I've interacted with some asshole people, but I'm sorry, Jessica. I guess I'm not being very like open in terms of like acknowledging other experiences. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep playing it so I don't like spiral.
This little girl.
Electric blue.
This was the narrative. And I had to see that I no longer wanted to be locked in my you're not worthy route. I no longer wanted to be locked in that because it's defined me for far too long. It's defined me for far too long. And I am extra. I would just like to say that. I am a lot. And I'm happy. And I have a lot of energy. And that's almost swore. Thank God. Because there's a lot of people that are walking around this life with their windows half like all the way open, can't let you in, don't want to let you in. Don't you tell me who you are. No, you want to know something? We're the rare ones. And thank God. And I no longer will allow this to be my identity. I will no longer allow this to be my identity. I will hand over.
We're taking a pause. So if you muted the electric blue a little bit, Emberry, like this top swatch, and then you had the forest green, but if you had some supporting colors, like this very deep blue, and you have a medium blue as well, you could work it in, I think. And then, this is just me being nosy as hell. And then the peach, I think would work it would just depend on the color. And Canva, you'd be able to use the free version and like layer them if you wanted to. I'm trying to get a peach. But like even this lighter peach color goes with those. But it just depends. Like you can also bring the colors in for tablescapes and flower arrangements and stuff like that. So, yes, peacock feather. Yep. Jessica, do you have like the best birthday planned? Okay, back on track. She's saying that she was teaching from a place of overcoming, like compensating for who she thought what was wrong with her. And now she is stepping into her believing that all of her tendencies up to this point, all of the way she's expressed herself, are good things, not negative things, and she wants to lead from a place of authenticity going forward. That's what she's saying. She's just not saying it very well, in my opinion. That's why you need more slides than this.
For some sunglasses, and I'm going to pick these little girls up, and I'm going to pull
Hi,
her
Callie.
in. You are beautifully and wonderfully made, and your productivity does not determine your worth. What you think of you does. What you feel of you does. And most importantly, your belief will determine how you show up. I had this Reiki session, and for those of you that know my story, you know what happened for us in 2019. Jamie had a cardiac arrest here in this home. I was sitting right here in this very spot when my daughter came down, and she said, "Mommy, there's something wrong with Dad." And I left the Zoom up of the power hour I was leading, and I ran upstairs and I performed 8 minutes of CPR on my husband while the Zoom was live downstairs. And I had just been finishing mapping out my life with them, which none of it mattered. And in 2019, I was reborn just as much as Jamie was reborn. But the trauma of it locked me. The trauma of it locked me. And
before we get any further, I'm glad her husband survived. I'm glad that she and her family still have him in their lives. Of course, something like that would rock you. I don't know what's happening here, but this is like a lot.
And, you know, I was at this Reiki session about a year ago when really the healing started to kick in. You know, the healing really started to kick in. And I was at this. So how many of you have been to Reiki? Has anyone gone to Reiki? So I've gone to this. So I've been really.
How many of y'all have been to a licensed clinician for a therapy session? How many people have gone to a counselor? How many? I mean, I'm not saying Reiki is bad. I'm saying there's some things, in my opinion, that cannot be overcome by emotional, like, energy movement or mindset. There's some things that take a delicate approach in talking through things and having the licensed clinician do that with you. How is this teaching us to make money in BODi? I don't know. And like any other work training is going to be, has anybody experienced a work training like this? Because it's only in multi-level marketing. Yeah. Pickle Knits, I love that for you. I was listening to, was it Sam D and Mary Kay? And they were talking about negative people and stuff like, or the lady was, not Sam. And I was just remembering all those feelings I had when I was in Mary Kay. And feeling like I had to squash down and put on a certain type of positivity mindset, not voicing anything that I was experiencing internally because it wouldn't have been accepted by the group because of their beliefs about people who were negative and stuff like that. And it's hard to articulate why I think it's not a bad thing to express what you are going on or what you're experiencing internally, and that it isn't like speaking things into existence. You're just communicating your internal reality out loud. That's awesome, Patricia. I mean, you were my trainer, so yikes.
Really on this like healing,
Hi,
energetic
Amy.
journey for a really long time. And I knew that something more was in me. And I'm sitting there and I'm driving and I'm like, I'm open to this. I'm open to whatever has to be told in this story. I'm healing from this experience we went through as a family. I was ready to grow. I'm ready to shed these old stories. And I get in and I'm like starting to buzz, right? Like all of a sudden I'm very like intuitive. I'm a very intuitive person. And I start buzzing and I jump into Renata's house and I'm like, I'm ready. And I don't want to tell her anything because I don't want her to know that I've just surrendered to the universe and God and and my mom. And I'm like, okay, come and tell me what's going to happen. So I'm just sitting there like this. She's got this, like, imagine this massage table with flannel blankets and you jump in and she tucks you in like a taco, like you tuck in your toddlers. So I'm sitting there in this flannel blanket and I'm just like kind of shimmying. And 3 minutes into the energy work, she starts laughing. She's like, Kim, your higher self is here and she's beautiful.
Can someone explain to me, because I am unlimited on my information on Reiki. And I'm also a little bit like skittish around this idea. I'm emotional talking about it because it's been an emotional day. What do you mean your higher self is here? I'm confused. Hi, Jenny Rose. Welcome to another, as Ava says, another MLM shit show. Alexis, how are you? How's your baby? I have no idea. I'm confused. I'm like, what? Kim? I need to send Kim to Aaron. I also need to send another body coach to Aaron, who's also in the Slay Squad, because it needs a dose of Aaron, not a dose of DC weeping over a PowerPoint.
And she's light and she's happy and she's excited and she's playing hopscotch and she's playing and she's here to tell you that you need to stop taking your life so seriously. And you need to stop waiting for the other shoe to drop, because that's the narrative you're telling yourself from what happened to you.
Okay, she's talking about her personal life. Someone is going to be thinking about the story, how it applies to them, and they are going to say, okay, I'm going to live like the other shoe isn't going to drop, except the shoe did drop in BODi this month. The new compensation plan took place this month, and the rest of it takes place in January. I know she's talking about life and death things. She, being Kim Fitzpatrick, is talking about life and death things in this PowerPoint and her experience and her a lot TMI. And then what is the impact of the influence that
And what happened for you?
That you are sharing with the people on this call? I think it's negative overall. Oh, good. Awesome. He's a good 2-week checkup today and gaining weight on track. Let's go. Literally our first baby snark. I think it's our first baby snark. I love it. Okay, Emberry. Interesting. Joe. Well, I want to be careful. I'm so glad to see you. This, for some reason, is a pretty emotional PowerPoint presentation. And if you have been taking a break for your mental and emotional health, I think that you might get slimed if you stay. You're welcome to, but I want to be careful and warn you if that makes sense. Bethany! This is a shit show. The oversharing of a lifetime is happening as she speaks. Her way of saying YOLO, join BODi. Yes. Yeah. I hope baby has squishy kissing cheeks. It was my favorite with my baby. That's so cute. Pickleness. I can only speak from what I know within what I practice. That's awesome. I appreciate the input, Mberry. Reiki is, simply put, manipulating energy within the body using the practitioner's hands. Interesting. So, like, I'd rather just do lymphatic drainage massage, honestly. Oh my gosh. Y'all, also, Bethany has a YouTube channel. And a very active Instagram. So she was high up in BODi when she was in. Definitely give her a follow. Here we go.
And there's two paths. There's two paths that you're looking at right now, Kim. One is dark and it's windy and it's uncharted and it's scary. Picture like Snow White, okay? That evil witch in the woods, and she's coming through and it's all dark and moody. And then she shows me the alternative path. And the alternative path is strung with lights. You know, the lights when we were on a...
People have free will. People have free will. And guess what? They can pivot at any time and go back and do different things up until the point that they're not on this earth anymore. Okay? What? Oh, thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate it. Let's go, Bethany. Let me grab your link. Real quick. Let me just go over here. YouTube's. Did you mean YouTube? Yes, I did. Bethany Brodigan. There we go. Here we go. I find my higher self frequently. Jessica. Oh, pivot, friends. I would play the kazoo friends right now, but just because you're here, Brandy Lee, I will withhold some of the kazoo just for you. I need to get the regular pivot. Oh, but I have the picture. I do have the picture. Where's my pivot? No, I had the picture. Dang it. Where? Whoops. Oh, there's a bear. Oh my god. Where is it? I had it. I know I had it. I'll have to find it. Dang it. Sorry. False advertising. I don't have it right now.
Dating myself here. There's going to be some millennials that are like, what is she talking about? But you know those strings that used to be on the light bulbs with the little silver bells on the bottom and you had to pull them and the light would go on? I'm so old. I am so old. Okay. Anyway, it's fine. So this picture me, I'm going down this path and I'm pulling these strings. And every single time I'm pulling a string, I'm making a decision. I'm healing. I'm letting go of the old story. Every single light goes on.
What?
Every single light goes on. And I needed to start rewriting my story. And I needed to start realizing what happened was I stopped dreaming. I got a little stale. I reread the same.
Oh, the best way to keep up with creators that you want to make sure that you see their videos, you can obviously subscribe to them. You can turn on the bell notifications when you click on like the little drop down. And when you like watch videos, you could watch them all the way through, like them, leave a comment every now and then, and as YouTube is learning your behavior, it will start alerting you if you want to watch someone's videos, like mine or Bethany's or Aaron's or whomever. Is whomever the right way? Carmen, is whomever the right term? Or is it whoever? I don't remember. Oh,
Vision that was a year old, and my systems were outdated and my story was outdated. And I was so busy hoping that my husband didn't leave this world that I
of course. Of course, take the time for your spouse or your partner. Of course, do that. Of course, that would be absolutely terrifying. Those are normal feelings, and I'm glad that your spouse is still here. Holy crap. I don't know, Nilkita, but it is the most recent training from Slay Squad that I found from December 5th. 1 day ago, it was posted.
forgot to live. And that's a
Rebel.
narrative that you can take on because of things.
It's mostly too, so what I've noticed with the algorithm, like I like watching Jenna Phipps, who does crocheting and stuff, and she's kind of quirky and she has 2 dogs, and she sews, she crochets, she knits, she punch needles, stuff like that. When I watch her stuff and I go and seek out her stuff, I then get recommended when her new videos pop up. So it's mostly the creator's responsibility for like making content people actually want to click on and watch consistently. And so if you're not seeing some of the stuff that I do, it's my fault, basically.
Things that have happened for you in your life. And I wanted to stop that. The other thing that happened for me 1 year ago is I confronted someone that abused me when I was a little girl.
Oh my God. I'm not saying you shouldn't confront people. I'm saying, why wouldn't you let someone know what you are going to be fucking talking about when you're training them in a professional setting? And that's me saying I'm glad she was able to safely confront the person. I'm saying there's people who wouldn't be ready for that on the call that she's listening to or she's talking to and in my freaking live chat. Jessica, are you still here? Can you save my life and put a little content warning in the description of this live stream? Thumbs downer? What's up? Oh my God. Oh, for the love of God. I don't even know what to say. What? Katie? Why is this happening in a business meeting? Great question. Very good question. For all the time I worked in human services dealing with people's trauma every day, we never had this kind of training. Jolene? Thank you for adding that to the conversation. This is horrifying that she dumped this on her team. Yes. Thank you, Jessica. You're the best. Thank you, Charlene. I think Jessica's going to grab it. I mean, I think this is probably her story. I think that in multi-level marketing, you're taught that if your why doesn't make you cry, you're basically screwed. If you don't have a why that can motivate and make other people emotional, you're not going to be able to recruit and do well in whatever multi-level marketing company you're a part of. So I think that she's been in Beachbody so long. I'm going to keep saying Beachbody because it's Beachbody On Demand Interactive. That's the new shortened term. It's still Beachbody. I think that they are taught that, and they're in a sphere of influence where they continue to be around the idea that your why should make you cry, and now we're here. And she has all these emotional things to now train people on that are obviously making me cry, and they're going to make other people cry. Yep, she was Jennifer, and then she just shared about her, the person who abused her when she was a kid. And that's so devastating that happens. That's touched so many people's lives. And people I know. And some, just like, why wouldn't you have a content warning somewhere? There's no content warning anywhere on her freaking video. Ugh, fiddlesticks. Yeah, Jen. Yeah, so she's been sharing about her husband's thing, and then she just said that she confronted the person. No warning.
And it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I broke the chain, and it held me so hard last year. And I'll be honest with you too, Jamie had a lot of stuff he had to work through as well. But quite frankly, I had a lot of stuff I had to work through too. And as I rewrite my story, I needed to realize that I needed a model. I needed a model that I had to come home to. And I needed to have something that I could root myself in that was more hopeful and that was more healing that was more forward motion. So I made my pillars.
That's Jessica.
And I think about this house because this reminds me of my grandma. My grandma had these beautiful big white pillars. I still drive by.
We've added a description to the bottom, and people absolutely feel free to leave. I'm gonna react to the rest of it because this is what people are exposed to in multi-level marketing behind the scenes over and over and over and over again. And they don't think that this stuff is going to be able to see the light of day. And if you're going to get involved in BODi, I wouldn't. This is one of the bigger leaders in BODi. This is what you would be exposed to if you join BODi. You don't think that that's the case? That is the case. You get plugged into a secret Facebook group that's private. You get this training where you get yelled at, you get manipulated, you get trauma dumped on. And a lot of times you have to either pay to be a part of that group by ordering your Shakeology every month or participating in all the stuff so you don't get booted from the group. Yeah, and that's... Thank you, Brandy Lee. I added content warning, trauma dumping, including childhood abuse. Thank you so much, Jessica. She hasn't mentioned that yet. She's just been talking about herself and her husband's story and then her stuff.
By her house that I got to grow up in, and they're there. And I decided to build this house based on the place I felt safe when I was a little girl, because safety is key. And I rooted these pillars in the things that kept me in my habits and that kept me coming home to myself.
Okay, just a side note to like lighten the mood. Did you know in Canva, I guess you did this in PowerPoint, you can do it in PowerPoint too. You can select the values, mission, vision, habit, self-love, and you can click on them all. Then you can say distribute equally. Then you can say put them horizontally aligned. But we didn't do that. That's okay. Why is mission going? No, it's not. I'm just kidding. I was yelling for no reason. Let's continue.
Because coming home has been the best part of my healing. And I had to come home to myself. And this is an opportunity for you to come home to you because no one else can do this for you. No matter what you've walked through, no matter what the pain, no matter what the trauma, no matter what the story, the more that you come home to you, the more you will soar. This allows you to base your mission.
Except you will not in multi-level marketing because it's a broken compensation model where the top few always win and the companies win and the downlines have to be churning for that to happen. That's how it's made, and they always lose or do not succeed at all. The fact the words aren't aligned is making me angry. Aya, we're on the same wavelength.
As the goals, not the goal. There's a lot of you that think diamond is the goal. You get to diamond, you get to the goal, and guess what happens? You fall off, you stop working because you've hit it and you're exhausted. The thing that's beautiful about the mission is that the mission goes past the goal.
I don't want to surrender to anything at this point in my life. Surrendering to being vulnerable, curious, and courageous. That's fine. I'm think curious. Being curious is great. I think being curious is incredible. I don't necessarily love the idea of surrendering to being vulnerable. That sounds to me like somebody's boundaries are going to be crossed, or the information being told to other people is that, oh yeah, put your protectors down. You don't have to put anything down. Talk to a therapist, okay?
The mission is service. The mission is impact. The message, my mission is like serving 1 million women.
Yep.
Gosh, I have a lot of work to do. I'm so far from that. I'm so far from that. So what are you leaning into, and what are your pillars?
Don't make shitty PowerPoint presentations. Don't lie to people. If you did something wrong, then don't hide it from other people. I don't know. Don't be a douchebag. Those are my pillars. And be kind to animals. That's my pillars right now.
So many of us are connected to our wins, and so many of us stay in this celebration of that goal for so long that we actually forget the habits that got us there.
They don't make sense, Hannah. You're right. They don't make sense.
I'm going to say that again.
Why is it
so
not
many
aligned?
Of us stay?
Okay, lighten the conversation. Why is surrendering to being vulnerable, curious, and courageous? Okay, awful. It's not aligned in the middle of the pink. When you don't have to know how to do incredible things with PowerPoint presentations or Canva presentations. If you're building something to present to your organization and your company, you can do so well by choosing one font family, staying in that. A font family meaning Roboto is one, where they have a whole range of different widths of fonts, and it's in the font family. You can use that all throughout your presentation, and having a consistent font size for your body text, for your subtitles, for your titles, and then aligning shit. Oh, magical. I'm just trying to lighten the mood because I'm like, I don't want to cry. You know what I mean?
In celebrating that goal, that micro goal for so long,
yes,
that we actually forget the habits that got us there.
I love y'all's
Gabby
pillars.
Bernstein has a beautiful part. I don't remember what book it's in, but she says, this is what happens for people. They get the promotion, they get the raise, they get to that thing, they get that thing that they want, and then they stop all the habits that got them there. They stop getting up early. They stop prioritizing their workouts. They don't work on their mindset. They stop prioritizing their nutrition. They get a case of the 𝐹𝑇s and they say, it's okay, I'm here now. And I'm just going to, and you slowly start to erode what got you to your best place that had you leading yourself that efficiently.
What are we talking about now? When is the Beachbody training going to start? Beachbody On Demand Interactive. I'm going to say that instead. Maybe I'll always say Beachbody On Demand Interactive because Carl's a marketing nightmare. Also, the fact that Carl does his ads that my nephew has now memorized because Beachbody plays ads on kids' games makes me rage.
I just experienced the most beautiful time in Costa Rica with my sister last week. And one of the things that I made a commitment to myself was not drinking, because drinking gives me anxiety. I have a clinical anxiety and PTSD diagnoses from childhood and grief
and
abuse.
Sure.
And some things that don't contribute to that diagnosis is alcohol, is sugar, is the poison.
Sugar? Okay, can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask live chat a question. I'll be right back. Let me just go to the correct scene. Is anyone here have any experience with what I understand? She has a diagnosis, whatever. She's got an official diagnosis from a medical professional. And I understand the impact of alcohol. Okay, great. It impacts people differently. And you've said taking it out is a positive on my life. Incredible. Setting that aside, you're telling me sugar does the same thing? Okay, thank God. Gen B. Sugar? I'm confused. She's about to say it's poison. I think I cut her off right as she was saying it was poison. Oh my God. The trainings are always mystical. They are never practical because you do all the practical things and they don't work. So they have to blame it on your mindset. Yep. It's never their fault. It's never their fault for being an awful trainer, or it's never the compensation plan's fault because they got in early or somebody did, or they went viral and they got to the top. And then because it's mindset, or all of the responsibility is on mindset, it's always the downline's fault for not being successful. I know he plays the game, Brandy Lee, and then because he doesn't have the paid version, he listens to all the ads and then he can he memorizes them. I have both PTSD, although minor, and anxiety with a few other things. Sugar doesn't impact the conditions. I have a severe generalized anxiety disorder. Sugar does not affect it. Caffeine and alcohol sure do. That's very interesting. Sometimes the sugar rush does make my anxiety uptick a little if I eat a lot at one time, but nothing significant. Interesting. Sugar is not a mood-altering substance. As I make oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Karina? Eat one for me, please. It has been linked to anxiety, but there needs to be more research. Okay. It's interesting hearing what y'all are saying. I am less interested to hear what Kim Fitzpatrick is about to say as we go to the next scene. Ugh.
Reasons that I used to self-sabotage myself on because it really felt good in the moment. And what I decided as I wanted to be squeaky clean for my sister, but more importantly, I wanted to be squeaky clean in my energy for my family and for me.
Squeaky clean? I'm nervous about the verbiage. I'm sorry. I'm nervous about the words that she's saying because they sound on the extreme side of things. They sound like they are reflecting an internal perspective of being, I don't know, like kind of like a perfectionist mindset. World of Brit, how are you? Sugar may not technically be mood altering, but have you ever seen someone unhappily eating cake? I have not. If you eat a lot of sugar, carbs without protein and fat, it can cause a rush. Interesting. I have never been told by a clinician to avoid sugar because of my anxiety. They have told me to limit alcohol and caffeine. I have a generalized anxiety disorder also, and sugar doesn't affect me, but caffeine does. 1 cup of coffee in the morning and no more for the day. Interesting. Interesting.
Because the person that went to that wedding last week in Costa Rica was not the same version of the Kim that had to have that terrible conversation 1 year ago. And I didn't want to match that energy. And in order to do that, I had to upgrade my systems, because a lot of times your systems are outdated. You are not broken.
Cool.
And we have to
Walter
remember
Brick.
that your habits that got you where you are the habits that you need to continue to maintain, or you will feel like you're falling off the rails. You will feel like you have no direction, right? And a cloudy vision creates a cloudy leader. An aimless.
A cloudy vision creates a cloudy leader. Here's what I want to know. If you're going into multi-level marketing, which I don't recommend you do, but if you're like, I'm going to do it anyway, DC, like, hell to like whatever you're saying, I don't care what you're saying, blah, blah, blah. Your leader that you're joining should be specific in what they say they are going to help you with. And then when you join based off what they promise, you should make them be accountable to what they said they were going to help you with. Leaders should be able to teach you how to sell. They should teach you how to market. They should teach you how to market online, which is completely different than regular marketing. They need to teach you how to compose yourself and how to communicate and all this other good stuff. That's what the type of training you're going to get in an entry-level position if you're going into something with sales. And guess what? Sales companies, when you join them, are not going to make you pay a monthly fee to get access to your paycheck. I know that's wild, and everyone's like, oh, but there's overhead. There's all this stuff that you have to pay for anyways. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the freaking same thing. And when I say more research, I mean in humans. Animal studies have been done. Gen B, I love that. Press play. DC.
Aimless vision creates an aimless business.
Oh, God.
And an empty bank account.
No.
And that's not a place I want to live anymore. Not my bank.
A broken compensation model creates an empty bank account. And what are you talking about, Kim Fitzpatrick? What is this? This is a triangle. This is at the top of a triangle because this is your downline. You're at the top. You and Jamie, because both of y'all are in Beachbody. Maybe your legs are leaving because Carl Deichler doesn't know what he's doing, but I'm just gonna, I can't even finish my sentence. I'm so mad. Is someone in a fog? Is that a cloudy leader? If they get angry, does it rain? Oh, yes. It is a mess of trauma dumping and emotional manipulation, Signe.
Account's far from empty because this girl doesn't take her foot off the gas. And thank God I have that. Thank God my worth meter was dictated by the way I worked, because I'm only now just realizing I can't function like this anymore, and I don't have to, because my business is freaking awesome and I'm developing great systems. But thank God I worked as hard as I did during my most broken days.
Oh my God.
Thank God.
Oh my God.
I'm proud of that tenacity. I'm proud of her. How proud are you right now? I feel you if things are hard. I understand hard. I've lived hard.
Tell us
My whole life has been hard. And there's some days you don't want to work. And there's days where I've sat here crying and then gotten on a live Zoom for my team because it made me feel better. Because I know that if I could lead others, then I would have to lead myself too. And I'm here for that. And this values and your mission and your vision and your habits and your self-love starts to collide, and you start to believe it when you start to take care of yourself.
Wow. Yuck.
This is my favorite mantra sheet. I really need to get this redone. I have had this for 5 years. I've read this every morning. And my favorite mantra is this.
Oh, God.
My commitment to feeling good is stronger than the pull of my old patterns. And I don't know if you can see this. There's a little picture of me down there. There's my little 3-year-old Kim. I pull her in every day.
Okay, but this doesn't make sense. Okay, I understand. DC, you're not getting it. She's just telling you what her favorite mantra is. Okay, but on a side note, the PowerPoint presentation, When you read the sentence, my commitment to feeling good is stronger than the pull of my old patterns. How does that make sense when you read the sentence like that? If we're going to like group ideas together with the fonts, which is the whole idea behind graphic design, that you're able to communicate the points and the emphasis when you're laying shit out. Does it matter to everybody? No. Is it my channel and I'm going to do what I want? Yes. What I'm saying is my commitment to feeling good is an idea that should have been similar together with the bold font she chose. I hate the scripty font. That's fine. And then she should have done the other idea with the rest of the sentence. Back to the idea of her mantras. Okay.
She looks so cute. She's got pearls around. Really, I just like love her up so much. But this is what these mantras say. It's okay to feel good. I give you permission to slow down and take care of yourself. Feel good first, then say yes. The less I do, the more I succeed. Okay, let's just not take that so, what's the word? What's that word?
Literally.
Don't take that so literally. Like, you got to be doing other things in order to succeed. Like,
yeah, like never having any time for your family, like cold messaging people and ruining relationships that you may have started and that the person thought that you were actually pursuing because you wanted to be friends with them, but really they were just a warm lead. And messaging 500 people a day and working to get people in the Beachbody, only realizing that when you recruit them, you're losing people who are unhappy because the Beachbody ecosystem, in my opinion, creates eating disorders and issues with people's actual bodies because the workouts are not well put together by, suspect number one, Autumn Calabrese, and whatever team helps her put her stuff together. An exercise science major would lose their shit over what Autumn Calabrese does. And Jen B and Brianna Jewell lose their shit when they react to Autumn Calabrese's stuff. It is a pulled muscle waiting to happen. That's all I'm going to say. You only need one mantra, Hakuna Matata. Yes. Wait, do I have that? Do I have that sound? Please hold. Oh, I don't. I only have this one.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, dee-dee-dee-dee. There they are, a-standing in a row. Big one, small one, some as big as your head.
I've got this one too.
Sing something with a little bounce in it.
It's a small world after all.
No, anything but that.
I've also got...
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Next year's going to be even worse. Oh, for sure it is. Yeah. I have to get there. I have to get more sounds on my soundboard for 2024 for sure.
doing nothing, we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really trying to unpack what that means. It's more like ease, joy, grace.
No, Sean, and I will say this, Tony Horton, I did P90X. I loved it. When there was Sean T's, I think, were great. And I think Jen B has said this before. She likes some of the programs that are out. I take issue with Autumn Calabrese and whatever she's doing without anybody to put her in check, because Carl lets her do whatever she wants. Hormone health program incoming. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm just kidding. I saw Lion King in Chicago last year, and instead of It's a Small World, he's saying, let it go. Stop it. Oh my God, that's awesome. I can't wait for Autumn's hormone health program. Yikes. Big yikes. Karina, I have to text you. My parents are like, when's Karina coming over? I'm like, I've been a hermit. I gotta text her. We got slimed in a bad way, Karina. Don't rewatch this at all. Do not rewatch this. Adhere to the content warning that Jessica so generously and helpfully put in the description because we got slimed out of nowhere. Tony from Monade at first. Rebecca. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Autumn is also Pilates certified. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yes, diluted focus. Lisa, I love that. Diluted focus. Crystal clear, squeaky clean. The more time I donate.
I've had so much anxiety and then I hermit way hard when I do. I have so many like unsent back replies and then I get anxiety because I feel bad about not replying. And I'm just like, I gotta break the texting cycle of hermiting.
I devote to feeling good the easier my life becomes. Ain't that the truth? Our team knows this. Lisa just dropped a sponge emoji because we use squeaky clean as our analogy. Like, let's get squeaky clean. So we just drop soap bars all the time. Like we're washing our mouths out with soap, but it helps because it.
I would not recommend washing anyone's mouth out with soap, even though I got my mouth washed out with soap. You know what I mean? Okay, Karina, I'll text you. Where's my blue hair? I don't have blue hair.
It gives you a context of staying squeaky clean.
Oh, my little foam hat. I haven't been wearing it for the holidays. Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
Lindsay Christopoulos, I see you on here. You got to have a people that are in your foxhole. Who's in your foxhole on your team? How many of you?
We've got a few minutes. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to find good content. I feel bad because like people were really upset about the stream with my dad last night. I said people. There's like 10 unsubs, so I'm just like, I don't know how to find content that. Let me speed it up.
Do you know David Goggins? Does anyone know what foxhole is? Okay. I don't know whether it's my trauma, but I'm like a sucker for punishment for David Goggins. He makes me feel better because his life's been so hard. It makes me feel like I'm seen. Sorry. Anyway, so David Goggins says, who's in your foxhole? And I hope you have a team that's in your foxhole. And I messaged Lindsay the week before the wedding. And I said, Lindsay, I'm going to go no alcohol, not because I need to go sober, but because it doesn't align with who I am and it doesn't align with where I'm going. And it no longer aligns.
We have to eat and we're going to be.
Can you mute her? Sorry. It no longer aligns with where I'm growing. The partners on my team are in my foxhole and we get to be vulnerable together and we get to.
I don't think the partners on your team are in your foxhole. I think they're in your downline. And I think the constant trying to connect with them and say they're your family, they're your really close friends, they're whomever, that really does change when people leave. And I'm glad that there's some instances where you leave your multi-level marketing company and you still get to keep those relationships. But a lot of times you get shunned when you leave. The people go like no contact with you because there's even in the Beachbody like coaches agreement, the policies and procedures, they tell you to not interact with those negative people online if they're anti-Beachbody. It's taught from the top.
Share our heart as much as we share our victories and our successes. It is really important to know who your people are. And it's really important that if you're struggling, you develop some systems and you lean into the Growth Day app and you lean into the workouts and you lean into your team. And most importantly, you lean into your client community because your client community will lift you up on the days that you feel like you're falling to.
It is not their job to lift you up. They are in your downline. They signed up because you said you could help them sell a product, which is the Beachbody services of the online programs and the awful Shakeology and the awful Energize. You said that it was a viable business option for people. Then they joined you. And now all the lines are getting smudged because they're not just the independent contractor who signed up. through your number. They are your friend, your family, the people in your foxhole, the people supporting you when you don't feel like you can support yourself. They didn't ask for that. It might make people feel special for a little while, but putting all of that pressure on them after an extended period of time, a lot of time breaks that connection.
It's so important to hold space. And your foxhole is this. Here's your foxhole. How many of you have a friend that if you told them you were going for a goal, maybe
do not rewatch this. It will make you sad. It's a trauma dump nightmare.
New Year's Eve, right? All of us are going to, like, I love our team chat on New Year's Eve because we're like, I'm in the bathroom selling a shower cart. I just got this, or we're doing that. Like, it's fun. It's so fun. But
yeah, there's lots of people who have free content. Fitness Marshall is great if you like dancing and moving and like having fun like that. I'm sure y'all can drop a lot of different helpful free YouTube. If you don't know what you're doing, Jen B is a personal trainer. She is a certified personal trainer who is constantly learning, not like Autumn Calabrese. She's learning and then and takes tests to get new certifications. So if you're looking for a trusted, like former Beachbody coach who is a certified personal trainer and can like help you go from maybe not knowing something to knowing more and being able to like not just depend on Gen B for the rest of your life, but be able to like gain some skills and like the foundational stuff of working out, Gen B is your person. She's Jen Baruso in the chat.
Foxholes are people that are like, it's fine. It's New Year's Eve. You should be drinking. You don't need to do that goal. It doesn't matter. And I'm not disrespecting that because there are people that don't have that goal.
She's using Foxhole because David Goggins was I think he was a SEAL team member, and he's written a lot of books about mindset and does these wild extra long like runs and stuff like that. And he is of the mindset that just decide. And I don't want to misrepresent what he's about. People connect with him because of his story and what he talks about, and some people don't agree with what he says. So
fine, but gosh, if you're in a goal, I don't want to be around people that are like, no, that's not possible. No, that's not me. How many of you heard that Growth Day with Brendon Bouchard? Watch
Love
who you
that.
hang around. Who's in your foxhole? Who's going to help you dilute those old patterns? Have you identified them and have you shared them with your team? That is the way to unlock. That is the way to unlock. These mantras help me stay so strong. And I can literally lean on them at any time. But the thing about affirmations and mantras is if you don't actually believe them, they do not work.
Oh, there it is.
If you don't believe that you can get to the top in multi-level marketing, then it's not going to work. If you don't believe that you can earn $100,000 a year, then you're never going to be able to earn $100,000 a year because your mind's going to keep you back. No, the skills to be able to sell or work to earn that money in the year is what's going to help you make $100,000 a year. And there's a mindset part of it. But a lot of times these multi-level marketing leaders in a lot of the companies that I reviewed on my channel, they put all the blame on how much you believe in the mindset, in the decision. If you don't believe enough, then it's on you, not me for being a bad teacher. It's on you. Rage. Can really lean into your team and you can really trust who you're working with, or you can lean in and be so clear and crystal clear on social media and be authentic to yourself. That's going to be really, really hard. So who's in your foxhole? Who have you hitched your wagon to? What are you reading on social media? That's going to screw us right up. So if you don't want to be reading that and it's making your vision.
See, here's my thing. Listening to the opposing side of what you believe is not going to contaminate your beliefs. If you are presented with new information that reinforces or gives you something better to build your ideals upon, then do that. They say, though, if you even look at something that is against what we're doing here in Beachbody, then that's going to wreck That's going to wreck your growth in this company, because if you even look to the side for a second, you're going to lose momentum, and then you're going to lose your belief, because somebody on the internet might be saying, hey, what is, look at the source and look at the motive, like Hannah says. Why is your coach telling you to just try it for 2 years and then you will be successful if you just stay in long enough? Well, they're making a commission off of all the Shakeology, the Energize, and all the other stuff you're doing. They are making a commission whether you are winning or not. As long as you make that volume purchase from the company every month, you stay active for them, and they are making money. Okay. Look in the policies and procedures and look at the compensation plan, decide for yourself. But make a decision that's fully informed, and know that you shouldn't be propping up somebody else's lifestyle just because you have a connection to them. If the business doesn't work, pivot and do something that doesn't wreck your bank account.
Fuzzy, block, delete, mute, and move on.
Thank you.
Because you are too precious and too valuable to be diluted by other people's content that does not relate to your life and your goals and your vision, because they don't know you.
No, but we do know a broken compensation model like that all multi-level marketing companies have. And I say it's broken because if it wasn't broken, you would be able to buy a product from the company, sell it to somebody else, and at the end of the month, you would submit your sales, and then your upline would be able to get the commission. As it is right now, most, if not all, multi-level marketing companies, when you buy the product or service from the company, your upline gets paid, whether you sell anything to a customer or not. So then the question is, who's the customer? It's the independent contractors in multi-level marketing. Oh, hell yes, y'all. You love a compensation plan video? Bethany Brodigan has given y'all one on BODi.
They don't know you, right? What's that movie? I'm going to quote my friend Batu. They don't know you, son. They don't know you. They don't know you. But do you know you? Do you know you? Do you know your patterns that you are sabotaging with? Do you know what
I think I'm going to do for Snarkmas Day too? This is kind of like my dad just is building like the bookcases and stuff like that. We can get the Jelly Bellies. What are they called? Bean Boozled. And, wrecked my dad's love for Jelly Bellies. So I'm going to see if he's open to that. He might not be.
your loopholes are? Do you know your weak spots? Because that's your job. We're in training.
Oh, what a good stretcher.
We are in training for this life. So you got to become an expert of the things that are ready to take you out. Because I'll tell you right now, the devil does not come knocking on empty houses.
We're not the devil. Profit and loss statements are not of the devil. They're just of math. And guess what math does? It helps you know if you are balanced with your books, if you have enough to be able to pay your bills, and some people don't. Some people work 2, 3, and 4 jobs, and they still don't have enough to cover what they need to. And then multi-level marketing gets involved, and all of a sudden, you're spending $200, $300, $400, $500 a month on multi-level marketing products, and you're taking away from some of your family stuff so that you can do this in the hopes that you're going to be able to make money. And that's not a bad desire to be able to earn more to support your family or yourself. If the compensation model is broken, though, that should be fully evident and fully visible and fully available for the downlines to be able to look at and say, you know what? I'm not making any money with this. I'm spending a lot of money. I'm losing a lot of money. I'm still paying tax on what I'm buying from Beachbody. And my upline's getting a commission every time I pay into Beachbody. So I'm going to pivot. And that's not of the devil. That's just saying, like, you know what? This isn't a fit anymore. It's a freaking pivot. When the math doesn't math and the science doesn't science, the MLMers be MLMing. Yes. Drop an ass math emoji in the comments if you remember. It's a little abacus with peaches on it. I love it so much.
Thieves do not rob empty houses.
What?
So you got to watch where you're growing.
So anybody who speaks up negatively about multi-level marketing are thieves or the devil. What about trolls with a conscience? Oh, I'm sorry, gremlins with a conscience under the bridge. Is there a category for me? Because here I am. Play.
My passion vein just came out. I don't know whether anyone, it was Goggins. Yes. All right. So what does coming home mean?
Too much text on this slide. You don't have enough room for your eye to freely flow around the text. It gets stuck with the bullets because it's too close to the edge. I'm glad she went all the way down. She could have had a few points and then gone to the next one and showed more points and shown more and more. But we didn't. We just, and a widow word. Great. Ugh.
To you. What does it mean to you? Take a screenshot of this and I can send this. I'll post this PDF in the chat in the Facebook group. But coming back home to what matters most to you. This is, guys, this is so key for your business. What matters most to you?
She spelled honor in the European form. Let me see. Oh, honoring your needs. Yep. She must have copied this from somewhere. No shade, for spelling, but it's interesting. It is interesting, like the attention to detail. If you are a business owner, which she says she is, but she's not. I'm trying to, I don't know. It is interesting, the attention to detail that is at her availability to use. And I wonder if the copying and pasting is plagiarized from anywhere and she didn't give credit. I'm curious.
What's your vision? Is it updated or is it outdated in another
Love
system?
that.
What daily actions are you taking that are actually going to align you with that future best self that is going to have you chasing the pathway with the lights? Because lights.
We're wrong. She's Canadian, so she is doing the right thing. I take it back. Please accept my apology, Kim Fitzpatrick. Thank you, Bethany. Y'all, drop a 1 if you want Bethany to stream with me sometime. I'm asking Bethany now on live. Oh, they do that in Canada, Bethany. Yes, you are correct. I take it back. I do apologize. My public apology. Womp, 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 womp. I have that. Hold on. I have a trombone. Where is it? Where's pie on the face? Just imagine pie on my face. Oh, God. Thank y'all. Sorry. Yes. Definitely just pie on my face.
Lights are turning green for you. Lights are turning on. What are your needs?
Yes.
Are you overstretched? Are you underrested?
Let's
are you
go.
undernourished?
Well,
we have some work to do because you need to take care of yourself. And you're the only one that is responsible for that. And it is no longer okay. And I will not co-sign on I'm too busy because I run 2 very successful businesses and I'm a mama and I'm a wife and I'm a friend and I understand busy. You are not prioritizing your own schedule. And that's on you. So where do you need to take the actions to align with your future best self? How are you recovering? What does inwards look like for you? You're saying yes to you and no to what no longer serves you. Meeting yourself where you are, understanding that you're enough, identifying those values we talked about in the pillars. What are those values? What are
Yes, I can totally swap it out for a snowman. I will work on that. Maybe, what about a little acorn with a scarf on? You do a snowman. That's a shit ton of words with a boring picture. Yep.
What's your vision? What's your mission? What are your habits? How are you rooting yourself in that? Whoop. What trauma and prior experiences do you need to transcend?
Transcend, work through with a therapist. Is transcend equal to or greater than working with a therapist? Because it should just be working with a therapist. What do you mean transcend? Are we gonna do a word lookup right now? I understand what transcend means, but like, why isn't it like identify it, sit with it, maybe, or work through it with a therapist? I don't know. Oh God, I somehow ended up on Transcend Marketing Solutions. Google. Transcend. I need the definition. To rise above or go beyond the limits of. Okay. That's a good word. I was just like, why do we use it? Are you going to be able to rise above or go beyond the limits of what you are talking about without the assistance of a licensed clinician? Or snowman with an acorn head? Ooh. Is she journaling in a wedding dress? Maybe just ivory. I think it probably looks more weddingy because we have the snow on top. Because it's a December stream and it's hot as hell here in Texas.
Because what you do not transcend, you transfer.
You transfer? What do you mean? What do you mean? Can you transfer trauma? Can you transfer trauma to someone else? Vicarious trauma can be described. Is this a real thing? Is secondary trauma a thing? Okay, I want to know from a scientific source. Can I go vicarious trauma? NHI. Secondary articles for vicarious trauma. This is Office for Victims Crime.gov. Okay, yes. Interesting. I'll put it on the screen. Put it on screen. We're going to be reading about vicarious trauma, so if you want to mute me. I'm too zoomed in. Of course. Well, you get most of it. The purpose of this article is to examine the factors of influence fly in and fly out FIFO mental health service providers experience of vicarious trauma as they deliver services to communities. Oh, this is specifically in Inuit Nunangat through a constructivist self-development theory, CSDT lens. Interesting. So it looks like vicarious trauma is a thing of some sort, but I don't know. It's a complicated question. Generational trauma. Hi, Christina. How are you? Red lint roller. Let's go. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You need to play a good song. Princess Bride.
Inconceivable!
We also have funny sounds.
As if. What, like it's hard?
I don't have any good sounds. Here we go. Uh-oh, Brandy, close your ears. In Sweden, we talk about generational trauma in families and communities. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'll look into it. Yes. Quality. Yes. I think do you get a lint roller color after 1 month? Because heck yeah. Oh, sweet. 5 months. Let's go. Oh my gosh, Rebecca, thank you so much. Casey Keeney got a membership from Rebecca. That's so sweet. Thank you. We got to do welcome to Illyria.
Horatio Gold, headmaster. So very pleased to meet you. So very, very pleased.
Hello, sir. Heard you wanted to see me.
I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria.
Welcome.
I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
Oh my gosh, Anna, celebrating 4 months of membership. Let's go. I choose to believe the lady in the photo is reading a book of fart jokes. Oh my gosh. I appreciate y'all letting me be curious lives as I'm finding out stuff that I obviously, it is twisty listening to things that you heard in some form in two other multi-level marketing companies that I was in, and then being confused and questioning everything, if that makes sense. So I appreciate y'all letting me do that. And I also appreciate commentary from live chat or replay crew, much non-culty love to you, about some of these things that are coming up in this call. And we should be almost done. So it's on 1.25 speed.
What you do not transcend, you transfer. You transfer to your kids, you transfer to your relationships, you transfer to your business, you transfer to your team.
Okay.
I didn't hit elite.
Thank you, Nomi.
Sorry, that was bitter. But like,
yes.
I don't mean that disrespectfully, but what you don't transfer and how you don't.
Long story long. My dog Caspian, his fur gets everywhere. And so I used to lint roll like my hats and my microphone every single stream. And it just became a thing. And then I was like, once I got monetized a little under a year after I started streaming, and I just felt like the quirkiness of the lint roller was kind of on brand for me. Like, I'm trying to make a polished, not performance, but a stream for y'all. But sometimes things happen, and like that felt like the lint roller to me, like being able to like clean things up. And so, I don't know. I just like them. As Emily would say, I have questions. Absolutely. Oh, I love the fact that so many here gift memberships. It truly helps those who can't afford them. So thank you. I don't take it for granted that people gift them at all. I keep clicking on it. I really do appreciate it. And I know like this season for a lot of people is extra hard. So if you need to cancel your membership, please never feel bad about that. Like, your finances are the most important, and like make those hard decisions. Especially like easily with my channel, I'm going to be making lots of content for the general public. So you're not going to miss out on too much. And while I appreciate the memberships, I want you to like feel the easiness of canceling it if you need to, and that there's never ever any hard feelings, because I understand tight finances.
Heal from that. What you don't transcend, you will transfer that. And I say that with so much love and respect. I get it. I understand. I know what I didn't hit elite too. It sucked. But guess what? I'm not going to do anymore. It's not my responsibility to work this business for other people. It is your responsibility to help lead and guide a team that.
I guess I'm so passionate about therapy. My sister-in-law has a PhD in genetics, and I'm not saying I understand anything that she does. When I've asked her questions, there's been some really interesting work done with people who've experienced trauma and how it impacts your genes. And then when you're able to go to therapy, the genes that were activated, like turn off, the ones that were impacted by trauma. So it's been interesting to like learn a little bit about that. I need to take this call because my spouse is calling.
Wants this for themselves too. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to stop taking responsibility for? What do you need to stop thinking that you're the problem? Who are you? What do you want? How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up? What serves you? If you do not take responsibility for figuring this stuff out, you are going to be super confused, and your social media will be confused too. Blinders on. Come home to yourself. What does that look like? And what does that feel like for you? I want to read something. I'm going to stop the share for 2 seconds because I want to show you. I want to read this to you. Are you ready? I wrote this. I wrote this on the plane on my way to Costa Rica. Whew. Are you ready? I don't know that I'm ready to read this. All right. I'm going to give this to you real. Don't get trapped in your story. There is something inside of you that you have to let go. And what do you have to let go of? What story? I was abused, locked in the bedroom. I still can't walk in that house, as my sight line is the hole of the door frame where I was locked as a little girl. I was put in cold showers as a way to deal with me because there wasn't another way, apparently. I remember when I asked for an apology and I was told that I had a mental illness and I was a bad child. You may have looked at my ID last year and looked like I was swimming, but I was drowning in my story. We chase a truth that's not the real truth, and we chase the love from the person that you wanted the most, but you don't need it because you have it on the inside. It's time for you to pull you in. You don't need an apology to move on. The ironic part is on April 27th of this year, I got an apology from that very person that I'd been praying to be seen by my whole life. And I finally realized that I didn't need an apology or the love to move on. I needed to be able to be okay with myself. I refuse to let any one of you, I'm refusing this. I will not co-sign on you holding on your hurt because you're waiting for someone to say sorry to you. You are love, and you can love, and you can transcend, and you can be the best you with the people that you feel safe with. And if I'm honest, I wouldn't change anything that happened for me in my life. I'm grateful for it all. It taught me that I'm already worthy. I wasn't broken. I'm really not stupid. I'm smart as shit. And I just had to take the identity away that wasn't mine and step into who I am. You see, I've carried this story for 42 years. And in 19 days, I turned 43. And this story won't hold me anymore. What can you do healed? When you've already done so much when you thought you were so broken and so fractured. You aren't broken. You are not broken. Your spirit was dampened. You put on a tortoiseshell that was so thick that no one knew the real you. You worked harder every day just to think, if I strive, if I push, if I just keep going, I'll be worthy. But the truth is your light is so bright and your truth is going to irritate unhealed people. And that's not your responsibility to hold. It is your responsibility to stop living in the voice of the unhealed people who couldn't stop bleeding all over you and start to sop up the blood. Clean up the scene of the injuries, the injustice, and pull that little girl in and hold her so tight because she is love and so are you. You're brilliant. And the narrative that tells you otherwise is your work. It's the key to your unlock. It's the key to your first or your next $1 million. And as Brendon Bouchard said, you can't build your next million in your 5-year-ago mindset. It's time to heal. It's time to rewrite the identity story you have wrapped so deeply and cut the freaking cords. It's time to cut some cords. So what does healing mean to you? What does coming home mean to you? Because we have some work to do and we have some lives to change. And I think we're just getting started, honestly. So I want you to really lean in tonight, and I want you to take some time, and I want you to really think about what you need to heal in order to grow. And I hope that this was helpful. And I hope that this gave you permission to be raw and vulnerable and truthful. And I hope it gave a little bit of insight to maybe the struggles that you might see or not see, because it's been a hell of a last few years for me. And you know what's really cool? We're still winning. You can win when you're healing, and you can have joy when you're healing, and you're allowed to want bigger things when you're healing. So keep going. And what's the narrative that you need to change starting right now? Thank you guys. I hope that was helpful.
It wasn't.
That's it. That's what I have for you.
There's people who
I think
are
I got through all my
crying.
notes.
Okay. The end. What in the flippity flop did we just listen to? As someone who has been through her fair share of trauma, you don't need an MLM to grow and leave all that shit behind. I'm healing my inner child by being a better parent than I had. And you're a great parent, Karina. Yes. Do it with the support of a licensed therapist. Yes. Oversharing what she went through and then using that as a sense of, I'm not kind of a trap to get people to think about sharing, to getting to work on their stuff, and then they're focused on working through their stuff and they're not even thinking about leaving Beachbody. I think that could be one of the takeaways from what she's doing. I think she's also impacted by the way that these MLM people are taught to share their stories. And the why making you cry is pervasive across so many multi-level marketing companies. And now she has an even bigger why that made lots of her team cry because of what she's been through. Oh my gosh. Karina, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. Of course I'll play the Friends Kazoo. I want to get booted. And now to share their own trauma to her crew. I think it's a process. I mean, Slay Squad is a large group in Beachbody. It is 𝐓𝐇𝐎𝐔𝐆𝐇𝐓𝐅𝐔𝐋. Like Lindsay Matway is in the Slay Squad sphere. They may all be under Lindsay Matway. And it might be this process of keeping people vulnerable or working on their vulnerabilities and not necessarily working through their vulnerabilities so that they stay in multi-level marketing longer. And I think some of them might even think that what they are teaching is helping people, but is it actually helping people? I don't know. Oh my gosh, Brandy Lee. Little stop sign. Brandy Lee, this may not be the right channel membership. I'll try to do like a gross I hate kazoos thing for you so I can put it up and know that we're standing slightly in solidarity with your hatred of kazoos, and we do appreciate your sacrifice of listening to it. Oh my gosh. Put it back under the rock. Oh, under the tree quick. I was like, put it back under the rock. Oh. That's a good lighthearted moment to end the stream on. I'm trying to think, what other takeaways do we have? Don't join a multi-level marketing company. If you think that calls like this are few and far between, you are incorrect. Why does that matter? The amount of time that people are required to be on these Zoom calls and be exposed to these ideas that are getting twisted by these leaders who are wielding their influence for their own personal gain is wild. It needs to be exposed. And it needs to be exposed while we're waiting for governmental agencies to do their stuff and have enough evidence to go after some people. And maybe some of the governmental agencies won't. I don't know, but here's what I do know. The power literally is in the people to mute multi-level marketing companies. You can, if you decide, oh my gosh, they're never going to be able to be taken down. Guess what? If a company goes bankrupt, they're gonzies. And how would they do that? People would stop buying from the company itself. Magic. It would be magic. It'd be magical. So, at least I think it would be magical. If you like the stream, you know what to do, the YouTubey things. And I will be in members only for a craft stream. Just hang out at some point. Snarkmas Day 2. I'll ask my dad when we can do that. And I will see you next time. That's the lesson. Nasty, murky, icky cesspit. Oh my gosh. This is perfect. Okay. Body is a cesspit. Yes. Yep. Get therapy instead of a downline. Yep. I obviously love you more than I hate kazoos. I feel the love, Brandy Lee, and my channel would not be the same without you. Seriously. Where's my outro, Miss Yvonne? It's right here. Toodles.